Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah. Yeah.
So today I will be reviewing Growing Up Hip Hop Season 3, Episode 9. So the episode opens up where we left off last episode, which is Angela wants absolutely nothing to do with Brianna. Now, I know I've taken on a different opinion of Brianna lately. You know, I've been softening up to her, but you know, I think I'm the only one because Angela is not messing with her again. She was like, I don't want to film with her anymore, and it looks like she means it. Okay, so Brianna showed up to the party supposedly to apologize to Angela, but the minute Angela saw that Brianna was there, she hightailed it out of there. I mean, she was like almost running. It was insane. So everyone tried to go after Angela. She was not having it. She got in her car and drove off. I mean, and Brianna was like, well, I just wanted to apologize. No, Brianna, you have to understand. You know you're rough around the edges. You always say you're rough around the edges. People have a right to not to want to put up with your mess. Okay, now I feel bad because you know I know you had a bad childhood and whatnot, but you know that's just an excuse. At the end of the day, you can't run around town pissing people off and then expecting them to forgive you when you're ready to be forgiven. No, life doesn't work like that. And I don't know if you remember, you really, you know, came off harsh to Angela for absolutely no reason for something she did decades ago because she wouldn't get in a limo with you. You know, so now I feel bad. I mean, a little bit. But, you know, I totally understand where Angela's coming from. You know, when you run into a headache, you know, you're not signing up for another one. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, Team Angela. The next storyline you have is Peppa's and this new niece of hers, Tahira. But her nickname is Titi. Okay. So Titi decides to confess to Christina and Adonis that she didn't start the rumor, she helped spread the rumor. And so, you know, she want to confess to them. You know, the part she's leaving out is because, you know, when it gets out that she was the one saying it, you know, she wants to beat it to the punch. She wants to get ahead of the game. You know, celebrities do that all the time. You know, they call it getting in front of the story. You know, before anyone can threaten you with the story, you know, you leak it yourself. You know, 50 Cent does it all the time. You know, like he, you know, released the episode of Stars. You know, you just try to get ahead of it. Unfortunately, you're not 50 Cent, TT, and this didn't work for you. Okay, so you go up to Christina and Adonis and you say, hey guys, I just want you to know, like that right there, that approach was wrong to me, but we'll discuss that later. She goes up to Titi and says, I want you to know I didn't start the rumor. Okay, she got to get that out there first, but I am part of talking about it. I don't know what she was trying to get out of this. No, she was trying to get ahead of the story, okay? Because she didn't want her name to be mud when it got back to Christina. You know, she didn't want to be known as a gossip. So that's why you throw the part that I didn't start it. I just helped spread it. No, dear. That is not how life works. So Adonis flips when he hears this so-called confession, you know? And I don't even consider it a real confession. You know, she left a lot out, like how many people she told and how she told them how funny she thought it was. You know, she left a lot out. But anyway, she's delusional because she really thought that Christina wouldn't say anything. You know, a lot of times people mistake your kindness for a weakness, but what she didn't anticipate was Adonis. He was not having it, and I was Team Adonis. He went off like, wait a minute, I don't care if you helped spread it. You knew Christina and you knew better and you shouldn't have said anything, or you should have came to us with this rumor. That's right. I mean, like, what kind of friend is that? That's not a friend. No, Titi, don't fool yourself. You are a gossiper. That's what you are, a gossiper. And so, you know, he went off on her. And what do most gossips do when they're caught? She ran off. She goes and finds her Auntie Peppa, crying, okay, crying as if she's the victim. Oh my God, I'm not feeling Titi. So she goes up to her crying, Adonis is being mean to me. Now Peppa, I would have thought Peppa had a different reaction because Peppa's the type of person that's been on the other end of being somebody's victim, from people's nasty behavior. She's been through this. But she straight out said, because it's my family, I'm down with my family. So Peppa accepts her bad behavior. She runs over to Adonis to supposedly clear it up and made it worse. This is what she said, and I was so disappointed in Peppa. This is what I would have thought Peppa would have said, like, I'm sorry, that my niece was all up in your Kool-Aid. This could have ruined your marriage and your reputation. That's what she should have said. But no, Peppa's in a daze because it's family. She goes up to Adonis and said, hey, she didn't say anything that anybody else wasn't thinking. Really, Peppa? Like, you of all people. I mean, how would you like to someone, was talking behind your back in the day, like, I really do think Tretch is hitting her. I seen the mark on her arm, I seen it on her legs, and you start telling everybody, and then your excuse is, well, I'm just saying what everybody else is thinking. Peppa, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. What is going on now? I'm going to give Peppa a pass because I like her. This is her second pass, because she's just been doing really crazy things. But, this is the last pass, Peppa. You start acting up one more time and I'm done with you. Child, what? Child, please. So, after nosy gossip spreading Titi started all this mess with Adonis, Christina really didn't have time to worry about because she has a lot of other things going on. One is she's got a new record deal with Priority Records and they're giving her her own company, which means she has the approval over her stuff, more control, okay? So that was good news. She says she hadn't had a record deal in 6 years, and actually the girl can really, really sing. And then she had this whole thing going on with this so-called woman that was supposedly Janet Jackson's and her dad, James DeBarge's son. Daughter. This is a joke. This is a joke. I look more like Janet Jackson and James DeBarge's daughter than she does. This girl looks absolutely nothing like Janet or James. She doesn't even look like a distant relative. Like, she looks like somebody that just looked them up in the yellow pages and was like, okay, let me go for it. Christina is really sweet, She doesn't like to call people out. She went to take the blood test anyway. I don't know why they decided to waste their money on a blood test. You could have came to me. I would have told you that is not your sister. Some people will do anything. And Christina's feeling sad about her being raised in foster homes. I feel bad too, but you're still not my family. It was crazy. Christina was very, very nice to her. Then you had the whole Romeo storyline. Like, I love Romeo. He's smart. He's, even-tempered. I just really, really like him. But he had a photo shoot with Angela Simmons. Now, Angela said in her interviews that people are always trying to put these two together. Like, they think they will make the best couple. And she was like, but we're not together, we're friends. Listen, I'm one of those people. Like, I don't know what it is about you two. You guys would have made a really, really good couple. But Angela supposedly engaged or unengaged. We don't know why. She never talks about her relationship and she's not wearing the ring. Angela, you should know. You've been in the public eye your whole life. Your family's been famous your whole life. And, the public is nosy. Do you really think you can get away and not tell me what's going on in your relationship? Because, I'm the main nosy person. Like, I'm going to have to get to the bottom of this. What is going on? But she's not talking about it. So she had a photo shoot with Romeo, and Romeo brought his new girlfriend. Now, the new girlfriend's cute. Yeah, cute. Model, supermodel, very impressive. So I still think him and Angela make a better couple. I'm sorry, Rome. Then there was Boogie Dash. I don't know what it is about Boogie Dash. He's struggling with an addiction and alcohol problem. Most people, I would tear into them. like, oh, you know, you're druggy. But no, it's the opposite. Like, when I found out he was struggling with addictions, my heart opened up to him more. Now, what is it about Boogie that's allowing me to let him get away with murder? Murder, okay? Like, anybody else, I would have a whole mouthful full to say, but I don't. And to make it even worse, I'm like softening up to Dame Dash. Like, before this season, I thought he was probably the most annoying person on the planet. The planet, okay? Not just in the country, in the world, the planet. I used to think he was so brash and full of himself and, you know, always browbeating his son. But I have totally dropped all that. The way he's handling his son's problems is admirable and extremely fatherly. And I just didn't know he had that whole other side to him. He's a great father. And so he decided to take Boogie to Vegas, you know, my neck of the woods, and put him to work. And he has a friend that owns like a bullet company, and he was working in the on the floor and putting him on manual labor, but he was with him every step of the way. And then he took him to the bar, and I thought, why would you bring Boogie to a bar? But he's actually teaching him how to handle this in real life, because Boogie cannot always avoid situations where there's going to be alcohol. Was in her interview, and she was saying that she really she saw Dame Dash at, Brianna, I forgot about Brianna. She saw Dame Dash at Brianna's art gallery or art viewing. I don't know what you call it, because I'm really not into art like that. But, and she was telling Dame that, because he's really good friend with Tretch, that Tretch will not answer her call, and she really wanted to talk to him. And because her daughter got a chance to talk to him, and she wanted a chance to talk to him, and just ask him why, which is a valid question. Like, why were you putting on your hands on me? What went wrong in that relationship? You always have to look back and try to figure things out so you don't repeat the same mistake. So I get where she was coming from. So at her art viewing showing, Brianna invited everyone. Of course, Angela didn't show up. Like, Angela wants nothing to do with Brianna. It's sad, you know, because Brianna wants to apologize, but you know, people, you can only apologize to people when they're ready, on their time. And so it looks like, you know, you really messed that up, Brianna. I mean, Angela Simmons would have been a great ally, don't you think? You know, but I guess you weren't in the mood that day, and now you're going to pay for it for a very long time. But that's pretty much what happened this episode. I'm still loving this show. I still feel like it's one of the only reality TV shows that's reality and not a bunch of script, you know, storylines and unnecessary fights. So I love it, love it, love it. I'll be back next week. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time. Bye.